All right, everybody, what is going on? Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing well. And we've got more to talk about with Michael Dansby, the cornerback from Arizona. Now we're going to do the traits. We're going to do pros. We're going to do cons. You guys know the drill by now. And then later on, probably tonight, maybe a little bit later tonight. Actually, the video I posted last night, as much as I did almost post it at midnight, it actually got more views than I expected. So I think a lot of you guys are up late or something, like I am. So I'm not dismissing you for that, but I was surprised. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks. So let's go ahead and get into it here, starting with some of the pros. A lot of plays on the ball for a player that you got in the 6th round, especially the picks. 7 interceptions in 4 years for a cornerback who wasn't even playing every possible snap is actually quite good. It's more than we saw with some of the other guys that we looked at. It's more than even what Julian Neal had. Now, obviously, Julian Neal's a much better prospect than Dansby, but Dansby has some real ball skills with these interceptions, so he can definitely take it away. And there's something to be said for that. That's something that a lot of cornerbacks don't have. Almost all of his experience is playing on the outside in the NFL, so there's reason to believe he can handle outside corner stuff. So obviously, you're going to look at him and you're going to go, I don't know if this is an outside corner or not, and you're correct to do so. But he did it in college quite a bit, and he even did it at Arizona, which is a real school. It's not, the San Jose State Spartans are not a nothing school, but they're much smaller. But he did it at Arizona, so he could do it at the NFL level. He's not afraid of getting involved as a run defender and tackler, even though he's small. There is a willingness to get his nose dirty, so that's good. His footwork is good, and because his footwork is good, he doesn't get behind, he doesn't get off pace, and he's able to make plays in good time. His click and close is good from zone. He reacts quickly to things in front of him. So you drop him into zone, and he's going to do a good job coming up to make plays in front. He has a knack for knowing where the route is going when he's put into man coverage as well. So there's like this cerebral, almost instinctive understanding of where to go. He had great coverage numbers in the Arizona season. And again, that's very important here because doing well at San Jose State is one thing, but when you're allowing under 5 yards per target as a corner at Arizona, now we're talking. Now we've got something legitimate here. So that is something that I think is very encouraging and something that should be very exciting for a 7th round pick. And he's also going to be a good special teamer. I think he should be at least a good gunner. So I think he'll be a pretty good special teamer as well. So I think you've got a little something good going on there with him. So even if you don't get anything out of him as a corner, I do think he'll be a pretty good gunner. He's rumored to be extremely fast. Some people have said he runs a 4.25 40. I don't really believe that, but there is reason to believe that he has really good straight line speed. So we're going to have to see. It's not a guarantee yet. So I don't believe the rumor that he does like a 4.25. That would be ridiculous. That would be like somebody would have figured that out. It's not like we're the only team in the world that knows how to look at a 40 time or watch somebody run a 40. But there is reason to believe that he's a sub 4.4 guy. He could be like a sub 3.5 guy maybe, and that would be pretty extraordinary. So there is good stuff here. It just depends on how much you're willing to believe. I think that there is some reason to believe he at least runs a sub 4.4, which is good, but you kind of have to suspend your disbelief a little bit that a guy would slip to the 7th round while running a 4.25. That's almost impossible. If you like sports, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using the Prize Picks app, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, and obviously we are now firmly into the NFL offseason, so we're all about baseball. We got some basketball, we got some hockey, whatever it is you like. Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. Definitely make sure to use the promo code HMA. Prize Picks is hooking up users with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. If you use that promo code, that is HMA. I've had a great time on Prize Picks so far, so definitely get on over to it, check it out, and make sure to get your lineups. And don't forget about Team Picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So download the app now, use HMA, and get on over to Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. Now, some of the issues that you might have with Dansby, the size, he is small, and that could end up being a big problem, especially if he tries to play outside. 5'11", 185 pounds, short arms. We don't know exactly how long his arms are, but it's understood they're short. That could end up wiping him out as an outside corner, and that's most of what he did in college. He's also lean. He's lightweight. So he was not a good tackler in college. He may be an even worse one in the NFL against bigger, stronger, faster players. So that is a real problem with his game as well. He was already a bad tackler in college, even though he wants to tackle. This is not something that's going to be fixed by effort. His effort is there. The inability to tackle is kind of intrinsic to him. I don't know how much better it can get. So you do have some real issues there, and those are problems that are not going to go away. So yeah, there's no papering over that one. That may just be an issue. As much as it is exciting to talk about him as an athletic prospect, he did not do a combine and he did not do a pro day. So we don't know what his athletic test scores would actually be. So the rumors of him running a really fast 40 are just that. They're rumors. So we cannot speak to that with any degree of certainty. His hips are segmented and clunky. He doesn't get around on vertical routes very well. He doesn't turn. He doesn't flip the hips with smoothness. He also had some really good teammates in the secondary in Arizona, right? They had Traydon Stukes. They had a couple other really good guys. So he was being supported about as well as you can be supported as a corner, which is going to make your life a little bit easier. So I do think that's a little bit of a factor here. Not that I want to punish somebody for having good teammates, but you do have to be a little bit careful with assuming that that's going to carry over if you do not give him the same stuff. He's somewhat finesse as a player. He's not suited for press. He's not going to get physical with the receiver at the catch point. He's not going to get physical along the route. He's a little bit of a finesse corner, so there is a little bit of passiveness there. And he also hasn't really done very much from the slot. So if you end up needing him to play in the slot because he's too small and weak and short-armed to make it in the in the outside, you're kind of asking him to do something he did not do at all in college. So maybe he can do it, but I don't think anybody can rightfully say they know for a fact if he can do it or not. And that's really about all we got about Dansby. I don't have a ton here, but it does do a pretty good job of painting the picture of a guy who could be kind of like Nehemiah Pritchett. And that to me is kind of the issue here. We already have a player who kind of makes me think of Dansby. His name is Pritchett. I don't see how Dansby can make the team over Pritchett because I think Dansby has even more exacerbated problems in some of these areas. You're saving a little bit of money with Dansby, but not enough to care about. Now, I don't think Dansby's really competing with Pritchett anyway. I think he's competing for the practice squad. But again, it's like, how excited are you going to be? We need corners that can tackle. Dansby, not really. That's not his game. All right, I'm going to go and get on out of here. See you guys later. Go Hawks. Let me know what you think. That is Michael Dansby, The Traits.